Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Things have been kind of quiet on the recruiting trail for Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Vols, but I think business is about to pick up. I think we're going to see some momentum as we head into official visit season, but also we are heading into a big recruiting weekend for 865 Live, and Josh Heupel has been known to kind of time some commitments around big recruiting events, big recruiting weekends to kind of build a little momentum going into that event, and that is exactly what has happened. Tennessee has received a commitment from four-star edge rusher Zack Groves. He becomes the 8th commit in this class of 2026 for the Vols. Pretty highly ranked, 252nd nationally, again, ranked inside the On300. When you look at this class of 26, he's one of the top-end prospects, falling in line behind Faison Brandon, Tyreek King, and also Gabriel Ascenda. Zack Groves is the 4th highest-ranked prospect in this class of 2026. But again, we're going into a big weekend, 865 Live. Does this create a little momentum for Tennessee? What does Zack Groves bring to the table? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just right down here below the video, just smash that thumbs up. It's quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not reporters. We're not journalists. We don't pretend to be any of that. What we are is exactly what you are watching. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're live every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing EA Sports College Football 25, but talking all things Tennessee football. So come join us Sunday night for that. But let's talk about Zack Groves. Again, pulls the trigger, commits to Tennessee. He goes to Twitter. This is what he says. He says, first and foremost, I'd like to thank all the coaches who took the time to recruit me and believe in my potential. I'm truly grateful for every opportunity and every conversation throughout this process. He says to my family, thank you for your constant support, love, and sacrifices. Wouldn't be here without you. This journey has been nothing short of incredible, from the highs to the lows, the late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. It's all shaped who I am today. Says the decision wasn't easy. It took a lot of thought, prayer, and guidance, but I am confident in the path I am choosing and excited for what's ahead. With that being said, for the next 3 to 4 years, I will be committing to the University of Tennessee. That's Zack Groves taking to Twitter to make that commitment official. Let's get his profile up on the screen here. Again, commits to Tennessee over USC, Clemson, Georgia, and Ole Miss. You can see the rankings there on the screen. 252nd nationally. He is listed as the 28th best edge rusher in the country. In-state kid out of Cross Plains, Tennessee, 7th best player in the state of Tennessee. You know, we talked about him last week as we were kind of trending into business picking up, right? We're trending into official visit season. We're trending into 865 Live, and we knew somebody was next. Who was coming next? And we had heard Austin Price talk about it. He had kind of put out some hints, and they actually had said about a week ago that they were questioning if Zack Groves would even make it to the official visits before he pulled the trigger. He was supposed to be at Ole Miss on June the 6th, Tennessee on the 13th, USC on June the 20th. I don't expect him to take any of those visits as he pulls the trigger and makes it official. Now we roll into 865 and we create a little momentum. We roll into 865 Live, and Zack Groves goes from the recruit to the recruitee. He's going to be peer recruiting on this big weekend coming up for Tennessee. Now, what did he like about the Vols? What did he have to say about Tennessee? This was going into it. This was before the decision. He said, I like how close it is, how they talk to me. It's a different way. Man, oh man, we have heard this so much. So much with Josh Heupel and this coaching staff being genuine, being authentic, just being different. And some of these kids say they can see through it, right? They can see through it when Georgia calls or when Alabama calls, when whoever calls. And it's not about how are you doing, how's your family doing. It's about who called you today. Who have you talked to? We've heard multiple stories on this channel when we've had kids come through for interviews. Josh Heupel, this coaching staff, they are different. And that's what Zack Groves says. He goes on to say, I really like Tennessee. Coach Chop, defense, I think it is their defense. Coach Hype, Coach Garner, Coach Banks, they know what they are doing. Now, last season, as a junior, he had 65 tackles, 21 TFLs, 4 sacks, 4 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, and a pair of fumble recoveries, as well as an interception. The year prior, as a sophomore, had 72 tackles, 27 and a half tackles for loss, and 8 sacks. Also recorded 8 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 2 picks, and a pass breakup. So now what does Zack Groves bring to the table? What does his game look like? There's no scouting report. There's no scouting report out there at On3. There's no scouting report out there on 247 Sports. Maybe we're going to have to get Coach Jay to jump on here and do a little film breakdown on Zack Groves coming up soon. But I'm going to go ahead and roll his highlights and put them up on the screen here. And I saw where 247 Sports had an article out there, and they had talked to his high school coach and asked him to break down his game. And this is what he had to say. Says he's just a game wrecker. Goes on to say whether you run at him, run away from him, he's going to impact the game from the backside, running it down from the backside, play side, blowing it up, forcing it back to the opposite side. He just takes over the field. Goes on to say the good thing we went to the state championship. We had him on one side, Elijah on the opposite side. You can't really pick like, hey, we're just going to run away from this dude. You're going to run into the other brother. Again, he's just a game wrecker is the best way to put it for him. He had a pick return for a touchdown last year, fumble return for a touchdown last year. He's had 20-something tackles for loss the last 2 years or something crazy. He is constantly in the backfield. Now, again, you guys are seeing the plays on the screen. You guys can break it down in the comments. What do you like about his game? What do you see in his game? Are you excited about this commitment? Again, a blue chip prospect, elite prospect. We talk about Josh Heupel and his recruiting. It's not where we want to be, but we are continuing to trend up. We are continuing to trend in the right direction. 865 Live is going to be a big weekend, and then official visit season. I think we're going to see some things lay out. We got the number one quarterback in the country already committed in Faison Brandon. We're working on the number one running back in the country in Savion Hyder. What about Tristan Keys? Yes, he is committed elsewhere, but Tennessee is continuing to work him, continuing to recruit him. What does this offense look like if you sign the number one quarterback, the number one running back, and the number one wide receiver in the class? Meanwhile, trusting Coach G to continue to recruit elite blue chip prospects on the defensive line. So what does he need to work on? What does he need to improve on? That was another question 247 Sports asked his high school coach. He said probably just block progression, just knowing how they're going to attack you and how we can use a few different moves, working on his pass rush moves and not always bull rushing or bending and getting around the edge, figuring out different ways to get the same job done. But it's going to be frustrating for him because obviously they're not going to run at him. They're going to figure out a way to get away from him or read him, those type of things. So that's kind of a brief rundown, a brief scouting report from his high school coach, as well as what he needs to work on. But again, you guys are seeing the highlights on the screen here in front of you now. Wanted to jump on and make a quick video. A blue chip prospect is in the boat. Another commitment for Josh Heupel in the class of 2026 right now. If you go look at the On3 rankings, Tennessee ranked 12th nationally according to those industry rankings. We will see if that continues to rise, continues to improve. A lot of momentum going into 865 Live. It's going to be a big weekend. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it all right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. But what are your thoughts on this commitment? What are your thoughts on the weekend coming up? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. You can go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also help the channel by hitting that join button. It's right down there beside subscribe. It's only $1 a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows. We're going to be doing members-only stream, but more importantly, you keep the lights on around here and allow us to talk Tennessee football every single day of the year. We are grateful. That is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.